Hey guys, it's Oluchi for Raise Breakfast. Thanks for always tuning in. Our research has shown that you're probably not subscribed to our channel. What are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button below so you never miss out on our latest content and stay in the loop with all things Ways. If the channel grows, it means more great content for you guys. So hit that subscribe button now.
Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. My name is Sheyi Olayera and I am so excited to be joined by my amazing co-anchors, Mary and NJ. For some weird reason, I feel Mary has run away from me. Every time I come to the studio, she's not around. And anytime she's around, I'm not around. So what's up? How are you now? Longest time.
I'm doing great.
I'm sure you're doing great. NJ, how are you?
I'm good.
Last week we were together, 2 weeks ago together.
Yeah.
Me and NJ.
Yeah.
Well, you, Mary, have been slaying us. But no, wala. I'm glad to have you here, and I'm sure we're going to have a great time together. How was your day, Mary?
Awesome. Amazing. Today was the last day of a course I did at
Oh,
LBS,
awesome.
so
Wow.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Personal development, love it.
You see? Yeah, it was amazing.
That's nice.
You see what I was saying about levels?
NJ, how are you? How was your day?
Oh, it was okay. I keep saying that, like our usual say, we don't look like what we've been to. But I'm always happy when is that time when you have to pack your bags and leave the office and focus on yourself and your life. So yes, it's been good.
Awesome.
How was yours?
It was all right. It was okay. I had a very long meeting, but I mean, it pays the bills, so we have to love what we do and thank the Lord for everything. Yeah, it's so nice to be here today. Last week I wasn't in the studio, but I joined via Zoom. There's something about being in the studio. I don't know. There's just a different feeling, and it's really exciting.
I agree with you.
So, if you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV, why? Kindly click the subscribe button now, like and share the link. It is our ladies' night out today, and we will be talking about the topic, the effects of house agents' extortion on rent. Here's what we found as today's quote. I do not think that you can address poverty unless you address the lack of affordable housing in the cities. This quote is by Matthew Desmond. I repeat, I do not think that you can address poverty unless you address the lack of affordable housing in the city. This quote is by Matthew Desmond. And when we open our phone lines, we'd really love to hear what you have to say. But first, let's go on a quick break. And when we come back, we'll see what we found in the news.
Are you saying that they are contributing to the problem of overpricing within the Nigerian environment or in the industry at large?
I'll come this way that a lot of these challenges being experienced also, we can't take out the place of the agents away from it. Because the higher the price, the higher their commission. In some cases, there are landlords that have said, oh, this house, I'm taking 5 million naira per annum from it, for instance. And the agent is saying,
I can get it for
I
7
can get
million
it
for
for
you.
7. It's now, your friends are taking, all around, your neighbors are taking 10 million, 8 million. And the landlord say, oh, anyway, if you can get me just 5 million, I am okay. If you get anything other than that, it's yours. So some seem to mark it up. And if the regulations we have, if we actually enforce it, then those can be caught. Now, we won't take out the fact that these things happen And some of them may be as a result of probably title. Title makes this pricing to go up. Like you see a place where he has probably a certificate of occupancy, and I mean, whether individual or global certificate of occupancy that covers an entire state. And the next one doesn't have. I mean, so to that extent, so
because
it
this
commands
is a safer
value.
property.
It's safer.
Welcome back. You are still watching What Are You Saying? #Ways. Today is International Police Women's Day. National Police Women's Day is observed on September 12 each year. It is a day dedicated to recognizing and celebrating the contributions of women in law enforcement. The day honors female police officers for their dedication, bravery, and the vital role they play in ensuring public safety and justice. The celebration of this day highlights the ongoing efforts to support gender equality and encourage more women to pursue careers in law enforcement. The day acknowledges and celebrates the contribution of female police officers who enforce law and order around the country. I'm really glad that we are celebrating this day because, I mean, in a male-dominated institution or law enforcement agency, you know, seeing females rocking that, you know, position and doing great things there, it's beautiful to see. Kudos to you. Happy Police Day and happy Police Women's Day. And I hope you continue to make us proud, make the female gender proud, and just have a great time doing what you do. All right, so let's see what we found in the news. I'll start with Mary. Mary, are you ready for us?
Yeah, I think so. There's been an outbreak of the monkeypox. Nigeria has currently recorded 67 confirmed cases of monkeypox from 1,031 suspected cases in 23 states, including the Federal Capital Territory. The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention has said that the Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Jide Idris, who disclosed this at a media briefing in Abuja on Wednesday, added that the agency was collaborating with the port health authorities to prevent the importation of Clade 1 Mpox into the country. So Clade 1 is the one that I think spreads virally and has more physical effects on the body and stuff. So, I mean, this is serious.
Very disturbing. I can't even look at the image because it's quite disturbing.
They listed symptoms or something.
Exactly. So,
yeah, so you know what to prevent.
No, yes. I mean, the rash is one. So the rash gives birth to the large and stuff. So that's how, you know, you can tell. I don't know what causes monkeypox.
I actually don't know too. We need to make our research and just stay safe because that is very disturbing. When I see pictures of it, I'm very, it's always very irritating. NJ, what do you have for us, please?
Well, my news is 400 Nigerians were deported from UAE this week.
Wow.
400.
400. So this week, United Arab Emirates deported 400 Nigerians comprising of 90 females and 310 males. So the deportees arrived at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja, where they were received by officials of various Nigerian government agencies. And this included the Nigeria National Security Advisors Office, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons, and the National Emergency Management Agency, that's NEMA. And this is part of an ongoing efforts by the UAE to tighten immigration policies, particularly targeting undocumented foreign workers and visa outstayers. That's people who have overstayed their welcome or the allocated time. This situation highlights the border challenges related to migration, legal documentation, and the socio-economic pressures that drives many Nigerians to seek opportunities abroad. So literally, this is just a report. I'm sure, very sure that it's not just Nigerians that are deported. But
Yeah,
the thing
because
about
it's
Nigeria is that we overstay our welcome when given, and that's why we always have, you know, immigration issues, and most countries are trying to tighten their various immigration laws and document processing so that people don't sneak into the country undocumented, because they want to be able to give account for every citizen,
which is normal, yeah.
and person who comes into the country. So I think we always suffer that because we are always too many. And the thing about Nigerians is that there's always problems. You know, the levels of crime goes up and all that. So it just begs the question that when are we going to respectfully respect ourselves in other people's countries so that they don't keep throwing us out. But that's just the situation right now.
No, as well.
Yeah.
All right. So my what's in the news is very similar to what we discussed last week, Christiana's story, sadly. Police in Kogi State have arrested a man in his 20s, identified as Jeremiah, in connection with the death of Damilola, a 100-level biology student of Federal University, Lokoja. The suspect allegedly abducted Damilola, held her in an unfinished building, and after receiving a 400,000 naira ransom from her family, took her life and removed her organs for ritual purposes. Following the tragic events, Jeremiah reportedly contacted the family again, demanding an additional 10 million naira. He was eventually tracked and arrested by police. Jeremiah confessed to the crime, stating that he acted alone and killed Damilola because she had seen his face after the abduction. It's just really, really sad. I mean, he's in his early 20s, and that's really disturbing because the last week, the story we touched on, Christiana's story, and I've forgotten his name, Ade something. Adeleye.
Yeah.
You know, similar. He's also in his early 20s. Why would you kill somebody? Remove her let's say organs. You remind me just came out. Remove her organs, and you still had the effrontery to call the family again to request for 10 million naira. It's just really sad.
Yeah, we call it poverty, but it just shows how depraved a lot of people are. Because really, irrespective, there's still good people who are poor, and somehow they come out of it eventually. These are just the different routes people take.
And like I always say, the family is the bedrock of the society. Parents should train their children well. I believe that parents need to have a lot to do to solve all these issues because it's becoming rampant now, and especially amongst young people. I just really hope she gets justice, and you know we don't see this type of news again because it's becoming a lot. Like every week you see this person killed somebody for money. It's really, really sad. All right, so before we start the conversation proper, let's first go for this quick break, and when we come back, we'll discuss. Welcome back. You're still watching What Are You Saying? #Ways. Tonight, we turn our focus to a pressing issue that has been making waves across our city. Rent 500K, agent and commission 250K, which is a total of 750K. The total package 750K is now the new watchword. The recent hike in agency fees for house rentals across Nigeria, especially in Lagos, an environment where affordability is already a challenge for many, the increase in these fees is adding an extra burden on Lagosians, affecting not only household budgets, but also the broader economic landscape. As we delve into the effects of this surge, we'll explore how these rising costs are impacting renters, the housing market, and the overall economy. Join us as we examine the real life consequences of this trend and discuss potential solutions to address this growing concern. Our topic for today is the effects of house agents extortion on rent. So first of all, I'd like for us to touch on, okay, so we have a video. Can you play it for us now before we go into the conversation?
Just want to say when house agent in Nigeria, bí a ti ṣe máa protest kìíní báyìí níbi tó ń lọ yìí nígbà tó nílé gbélé ńlẹ̀ ní 150 ṣe sọ pé agreement and commission 400 wọ́n gbé 2 bedroom flat ńlẹ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ fún wa 300 350 ṣe sọ pé agreement and commission 750 3 bedroom flat wọ́n rọra gbélé ẹni tó nílé wà ní US ó gbé 3 bedroom flat ńlẹ̀ fún wa 400 ẹ sọ pé agreement and commission 1 million ẹ fẹ́ gbalé lọ́wọ́ nílé iṣẹ́ yìí lẹ́ni ni ẹni tó nílé wà ní USA jẹ́jẹ́ ó ti fún wa ní free access ká máa gbélé ká máa ṣe fàájì ẹ wá sọ lé di gold kílẹ̀ agree kílẹ̀ commission kílẹ̀ agreement kíni commission owó tí ẹ kó ju 30,000 tí ẹ máa fi sórí ẹ lọ pé ẹ tẹ báyọ̀ wálé ẹ báyọ̀ wá location ẹ sọ di gold nílé 180 agreement and commission 400 ẹ ṣe agent ṣe ó lè máa kí wọn àjọ fa burúkú wàhálà ó gbélé kan lẹ̀ fún mi ní 1 million 3 bedroom flat.
All right, so for our viewers and my ladies here who don't understand Yoruba, so it's just basically ranting about how agents have turned themselves to mini gods. He gave an example of somebody who has probably jackpot, left the country, and has given an agent to take care of the house and sort, and how the agent now just asks for ridiculous amounts, and they've turned themselves to gods, and it just feels like whatever they say is fine now. You cannot do anything about it. So it's just saying basically that, maybe we should just scrap this agent's thing, and that's his consent. So as I was saying before we watched the video, I want us to quickly touch on our personal experiences dealing with agents. So I would like to start first. For me, I don't have, experience, handling or I've never rented an apartment before. Okay, I have. Okay, I think I'm confused myself. I have during NYSC. That's the only time, I have rented. That was in what was that? In Kwara State. I served in Kwara. I've said that a lot here. Yes, I served in Kwara State. And it was quite affordable because, Kwara is still a growing state. And no offense to anybody that's from Kwara State. Well, the place that I lived, it was quite affordable. There was agent fee, but it was not a lot. I can't remember. My parents actually sent me money to pay for the rent, but it was something that I could take out of my alawi to pay because it was very affordable. So I never had any agent issue. In fact, getting the house was very easy. I didn't even struggle. I didn't stress, So I don't really have that experience, I've never experienced, the whole agent wahala and the likes. Of course, I have friends, family members who have complained, oh, this person is asking for this. And I've also seen ads, also asking for ridiculous prices. Like the example we gave, 500K for the house, agent is asking for 250K. Please, what's the 250K for? They will say it's commission fee, legal fee. What fee again did they say? I'm trying to remember one, caution fee and the like. So I would just like to ask, I'll start from Mary because I know you have a fresh experience. You have a fresh experience, exactly.
Oh,
so have you had any frustrating encounters with house agents? Would really love to hear your story.
Man, it's a journey, it's really a journey that you have to pray about.
Serious prayer.
I legit I didn't, when I started here, everyone was just like, oh yeah, well, you don't know what you're about to see. I just thought, okay.
You wing it, nothing.
I'll wing it, but I have to tell you, you need prayer. Because first of all, aside from the ridiculous amount for the agent's fees if you see the apartments that they're calling, as in that they're even charging
for that price,
it's absolutely ridiculous. They can use this whole studio and tell you that this is studio apartment, and you're just looking like, bro, what do you mean? The bathrooms, you can't stretch your hand, but they're just like, madam, if you don't even take it now, but
exactly.
by next week,
they make it look like everybody's rushing for that space.
No, but it's not, they lie. You come next week,
sadly, because people are looking for houses.
That's what I'm saying. So it's true. There are people who fall for that. So
then
continue.
I can't tell you how many times I paid 10K for inspection.
Oh that too. I heard you have to pay for transportation for the agents.
No, it's not transportation.
No, it's
they
not
call it
transportation.
inspection.
They call it inspection fee.
Yeah. So at first started with 5K. I said, okay, 5K. I will enter my car Saturday morning. I will drive 6 I'm like, Jesus, this is not what I want.
And I think they take you to bad places so that you waste money.
No, mine was a bit easier because the agents I used, they had a platform of different agents. So sometimes I will see one house that this agent has posted. I will message the agent. I will pay inspection fee. I will see another house that another agent has posted. I will pay inspection fee. I will go. Yeah. I spent almost 200K. I'm not even joking. Yes, on inspection. Crazy. There was even one time I had to leave my office to look for a house. The rain was falling. My wiper was not working. Somebody hit my car. Hey. I said, oh God,
because of this house.
Rent house. And I got to the place and I was like, I can't even live here. The guy said, madam, this is the best so far, madam. And you know, say I know you. You don't come like several times. I say, what am I going to do at this point? So I mean, the whole process is ridiculous. These guys, as far as I'm concerned, they're cashing out because like MJ said, trust me,
because they're always available to take you somewhere, so they are less busy.
Trust me, like when you don't come. I remember one that I really liked. I was just stalling because my money was not complete. I was still thinking, do I want this place? Oh, by the time I was ready, I said, it's gone. They now took me some other shabby places, and I was just like, well, this is serious. So there's no money. But so what are people that are renting these houses? Because me, I'm not understanding.
People are actually desperate.
You know, because when there's a market for something, when there are buyers, that's what gives them the courage to say, okay, you know what, let's increase the fee.
Yes.
The one I'm currently staying in, service charge at the point of payment, the guy told me that he made a mistake on what he put there.
No, he did not.
I'm not even joking. And I started.
And you had paid the rent?
I paid rent.
Yeah, some level.
Yeah, so service charge. The guy said, it's a mistake. I said, can I speak to the landlord? The landlord said no, that truly the guy made a mistake. And I was just like.
Unplanned.
Unplanned. I asked my friend. And my friend said, do you want this house or you don't want this house? Because if you want it, you have to pay now. Otherwise, it's going to go.
Because sadly, they'll refund you. Somebody else will take this space and you have to start looking for
it's
the house
fact
again.
That you're on so much pressure and like you have to have money in your bank just readily waiting because you can't, if you lose guard, like you lose it. And like it's crazy.
Bele, sorry.
But I'm happy now, Sha.
But you have finally found a place.
I found a place.
So I'm just interested. I'm just curious. So I know you paid them inspection fee. Did you also pay them transportation fee? Like when they were going, something for something they'll ask you, auntie, anything.
No, but most of them
they follow you. Yeah, some of them will ask, auntie, anything for the boys
after
to
the
drink.
10K. I did mad. After 10K.
No, but they still ask.
They ask
no,
sometimes.
nobody dared ask me. After I've carried it with my own fuel around.
Okay, you carried
in my car.
Okay, makes sense there. Makes sense there. So, did you have any of those experiences?
To say the least, I've actually been quite lucky with when it comes to rent and dealing with agencies. I and my sister, we really put a lot of energy into it and a lot of prayers because I can't. There are a lot of things that happen, but I haven't been, through really bad situations. Yes, you get to look for, like Mary said, a whole lot of nonsense. And the pricing that they're calling sometimes, you're looking at it and you're asking them. At a point in time, I had to ask one of them, where do you live?
I'm telling you.
Because you cannot pay this amount you're calling for me.
He said he lives in Ekpe. And I said,
okay.
I'm from Ekpe, you're selling houses in Lekki. One.
Is yours?
Or I asked them, do you own a property? And they say no. And I'm like, yeah, the evil you guys are committing.
And they cannot pay that much. That's what pay with the most. They can't.
And you won't spend that much. So I just think we come from a society where people just take advantage of whatever is happening. Whatever situation, something occurs, we're supposed to help each other out, but a lot of people just, manipulate and just try to capitalize on the situation. That's quite unfortunate, but that's how we see it. That's how it happens.
It's really unfortunate. I really wish Norma was here today to, tell us how it is over there. How are things different there? Do renters face similar issues with agent fees? Or is it a more regulated system, right? But since we are not there, but you have an idea of how it works there.
Because I remember my cousins moved to Ireland 2 years ago, and it was such a struggle considering the fact that they were students, they needed some form, their own problem is documentation.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, first of all, is finding available space. You now find the available space and they tell you, oh, we can't give it to you because you're not working, because you're not a proper working class. So that was an issue. They had to stay with family friend who was working, then ask that one to write letter for him. It was such a hassle. It's not that they can't pay, because I mean their parents to some extent were covering the fees, and you know they were schooling and doing side jobs as well. But they won't just rent to them for the sole aim fact that they were students.
So that one was documentation issues.
That's documentation issue. You know, I guess those are some of the issues they find abroad, and then even in England, I think it's relatively very expensive.
Yeah,
For tiny spaces.
Shared apartments and stuff like
tiny
that. I once had a
spaces.
situation where I had to pay. You know, you have to pay, when you want to go for a course or you want to do anything, you have to pay for accommodation, because those are part of the things that they will check at the airport and everything. And, you know, so I paid and eventually I couldn't go.
You paid and couldn't go?
Yeah.
Did you get a refund?
That's the problem. You know, most of these things happen on, like, they have different sites that you use. You want a shared apartment, you want this, you put in your specifications, and then most of the time is like either an Airbnb, someone has, you know, someone is out of town for a while, so they rent out their apartments and everything. So there's just an email. You email, you call, no one is speaking. What are you going to do? You are in Nigeria. How are you going to do that? I tried sending a friend of mine, okay, this is the, you know, I only had the email address and then the address of the apartment. So this is the info. But you can't see. No one can find your battle more than you can. So, and if you're not there, that's just how it happens.
Sadly. So back here in Nigeria, the situation is tough, right? Yeah. Nigerians are feeling the pinch with all these extra agent fees on top of rent. So what do you think is the way forward to solve this, in your own opinion? From your own point of view, Mary, if you could do something about what happened to you during your house hunt experience, what would you do? Basically, what do you think is way forward to solve this agent issues?
I really wish I could tell you that I have an answer, because I don't. What made it a bit easier for me was the fact that there was a lady who had created a platform where there were a couple of agents. So what she has done is she has brought all the agents together, which makes it a bit more easier. So I would just sit from the comfort of my bed, look through pictures, you know, take screenshots and say, okay, you know what, today this and this is where I'm going to. But as for the costing, I don't know, because it's like it's an open market where the guys are hustling, and there's no regulatory body. Maybe if we bring government in it now, we will not even see house to rent. So that one is there too. So I don't think I have a specific answer for how we can, you know, address it. They should just have the mercy of God, because they too, they are suffering. The people they are selling to are not finding it easy. They are not picking money from the ground, you know. So the only thing is we can just have mercy on ourselves. That's the only thing.
Interestingly, you talked about regulatory body for this. There's actually in Lagos. There's actually LASRERA, Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority. I just think that they need to do more, put more structure to it. But let me come to you.
We all know where that's will get. Okay,
we can't say. So back to you, NJ. So like I said, we are feeling the pinch as Nigerians on these extra agent fees on top of rent. So what do you think is the way forward to solve this? Mary has already given some points. But in your own opinion, what do you think can be done to solve this?
I would say, apart from being human and having some human feelings, I would say quit extorting people. You know, we need to quit taking advantage of people. I think that's one thing that we need to and situations, not just people. You know, if we're having the real estate market in Nigeria is constantly thriving. Like prices of things, you buy a piece of land today, and in short, that has become a major investment for a lot of people, both the rich and the average, you know, in Nigeria. So it's just putting some regulations to it and enforcing. And there are a lot of things that there's the part for the agents to play. Most of these agents don't even know what it means to be an agent.
They don't know.
So the idea of agency, I think there should be some regulation to the agency. Yes, there's the percentage that they always talk about, but come on, if I'm renting, rent on the island goes between 1 point something all the way to, like, there are people, I once saw on TV, someone is paying 200 million per month on rent.
So on rent.
I didn't say that, like, but that is a fact.
On rent.
So let me say, I'm just
sorry, but I just had to.
Yes, I understand. It's crazy, but because of that, if someone is renting an apartment for 100 million, how much is the agency? That is almost half of what you're paying. You know, if you're renting an apartment for 1 million and you're paying, do you understand? The higher the amount. So there has to be some regulation, even if you put it at 5%. 5% to 200 million is very different from 5% to 10 million naira, and also very different from 5% to 5.5 million naira. So I think there should be some level of regulation to this thing and enforcement. And I think the agencies in charge should just start looking at, you know, how they can make some adjustment to what is the current structure. And we need to get to the point where a sector can be trusted for whether regulations, enforcements, guidelines, rules of work and all that. So we need to get to that point, and we need to start looking at it, because really we keep talking about these things every time. And it almost seems like it's just falling on deaf ears. Everyone just goes on. But we're all suffering the pinch. You're poor, you're average, you're rich, you're going to suffer it one way or the other. Unless you own your own, you own your own property. And really, how many people can afford the properties in Nigeria? How many people can buy plots of land? During our fathers' times, you know, what parents will pass over to their children was plot of land. Now,
how many people can
people
afford?
Are at 60, 70, no land for their children. My dear, go and look for your land. Do you understand? That's the reality of things now. So we can't even invest, like only the upper middle class can invest in property. And it takes years, you know, you have to, everyone wants to invest in something that would obviously appreciate over the years. You don't want to buy a property. Yes, there are people buying properties on the mainland, but there are more people buying properties on the island because a lot of, you know, innovation and everything is coming this way. You know, they're building an airport, there's the Dangote refinery, and there are a lot of things happening between Lekki and Ekpe and all that. So I think there's a lot of work to do for these agencies. That's one. And then we as people, we are the tenants, we are the agents. There are lots of, almost everybody's an agent now. If I see...
Check your WhatsApp status.
It's so bad. Like there was literally a friend told me, you know, he wanted to get, you know, sell a property. And I just said, okay, I'll help you out. I know a couple of agents on my WhatsApp who are friends. So I'm going to post it on my... If anyone reaches out to me, I would give them your contact to deal with you. You know, that kind of thing. And then before I knew it, a few weeks later, someone called me and said, oh, I thought, hi, I wanted to get a property. And I'm like, what? I forgot. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, you posted something. I'm like, no, that's just a one-time thing. I just posted it for a friend. So everyone is an agent now. You talk to anyone. Nobody goes to school. Nobody even knows what it means to be an agent. What you're nobody helps you. The agents in Nigeria don't help you to get a... They don't help you to negotiate. They're just there for their court. So it's very personalized. So you don't even know what you're paying for. Are you paying... If I'm going to pay for someone to just walk me around, so it means that the only thing you're paying for is the connection.
That's like
and
the middleman.
And they're a ring. So you find yourself even duplicating work. Like you said you were paying for, you know, each inspection. And that's the thing. You find out that you paid today, they took you to some places you didn't like it. You call another agent because you actually have to have more than one agent in order to find it if you're in, you know, if you're working with time. You call another agent, they take you back to the property. You're like, wait. I've been here before now. And then the guy is giving you a gift, and he's giving you a totally different rate from what the other guy. Like, why don't you guys just have like a web? I know that in Nigeria we've tried to grow the property, you know, development. And I know that there are two major websites people always, you know, use, but still, it's not regulated. Anybody can just add and be an agent, and then you're just paying all this money, and you're not even getting, you know, the worth or the value of what you're paying for. So it's very stressful, and it puts, going on with the things that are already happening, it puts a lot of stress on the individual. And it makes it very difficult for you to even trust, you know, that what you're getting. People have been sold properties that have already been sold out.
Yeah. That's why.
Sorry, they've been rented properties.
Yeah.
Thank you. They've been rented properties that have already been rented out. So you pay, and then the guy tells you, oh, sorry, somebody has taken you. Okay, let me show you something else. Then you're stuck because your money is stuck with him.
Yeah.
And you can't seem to, you don't have enough money to get somewhere else. It's a hassle.
Or there's been no renovation on the place, because that was what I faced, you know. So I had to now go back and forth with the agents to say, oh, but like nothing was done in this place. You know, if I'm doing, oh, let's speak to the landlord. Like the whole thing.
So they were not planning on doing anything about
most
it.
of the time,
because most times they collect your money here to fix it.
Yeah.
It's really sad. Let's quickly go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Do stay with us.
Nigeria, by extension, Africa, is faced with a lot of challenges.
With the growing youth population and very little engagement.
That is a ticking time bomb.
We're blessed people with a diverse culture who have a lot to say.
And yes, we are talking. It is important we drive conversations that informs, inspires, and influences thoughts and actions.
If we say there is beauty in diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture.
We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation.
As we are the hope for the future, yesterday's conversation shaped today.
What are you saying to shape your tomorrow?
We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you.
You're welcome back. If you're just tuned in, it is our Ladies' Night Out, and we are discussing the topic, the effects of house agents extortion on rent. Please, let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation by sending us an SMS or WhatsApp message to 081-8038-4663. 081-8038-4663. Our phone line is now open. Please call us on 070-25007749 or 070-1424-2420. All right. So speaking on solutions, ladies, do you think that landlords have a role to play in controlling or reducing agent fees? How can they help ease this burden on renters? Do you think the landlords can do something about this extortion from agents on renters? Because, I mean, like, the renters, rather, the agents are the middlemen, you know, so it's landlord, agents, and tenants. So what do you think the landlords can do? How can they help? Because you said something, Mary, I think, was it Mary, that you said the agent said he made a mistake. And when he spoke to the landlord, he said, yes, it was a mistake. So what do you think landlords can also do to help? Because housing is a basic need for human beings.
I think it's the landlords that put the pressure on the agents.
On the agents.
For like how they do, because the agency fee doesn't come to the landlord. What you pay to the landlord is your rent and service charge, and then the other 10% legal and stuff goes to the agent. So I mean, I don't even know what I can say landlords should do, because landlords will tell you that what's their own. They have property. They've called these guys.
Exactly.
You know, they call numerous people. Say, okay, can you get me someone for this? Can you get me someone for this? So it's made the best man win. Anyone you bring, and obviously, as a landlord, if someone comes with a higher price for you, you go for the higher person. You know, because the agent is also believing that Oga, I helped you to get somebody. In all of that, you will still collect another cost for himself.
So the landlords are in or whatever.
The landlords are most definitely in on it, except for people who like give out their properties to maybe companies to handle such things. But most of them are totally in on it. But
sadly,
I don't know if they'll be able to get. Maybe they should get landlords to register their rental properties, like one of the things that the agencies can try to do,
and have an agreed.
If you have a rental property, because people just build every day, and just turn it into Airbnb or something. So maybe have a record-keeping system of all rental properties, so that when it's like a general place, if it's rented, it's rented. Do you understand? It shows there that it's occupied or something, so that there's some way. I know it cuts off the agents, but you can now only have serious people and a better channel, a better way of, you know, organizing, having that database, so that people are aware, even the tenants and the people renting. Because if not, it's bad reputation for the landlords. And it's also bad reputation even for the agencies, for the various agents, you know. So a lot of people have been defrauded a lot of times. The last time we tried to rent a place, I know I won't call it, that's why I said I've never gone far into the experience, but we almost got, you know, scammed, that's the word. You know, so we were talking to someone, we were given a number, got it off a website, talking to someone, thinking, you know, there was this newly built property, I think it was in Parkview or so. And then, you know, just talking to them, you know, from the rents, when they called the price of the rents, my hair just, you know, my hair just stood up because it was too cheap. I'm like, in Parkview,
yeah, that's another thing. No, if it is too cheap,
I'm like,
but what do you consider cheap?
Trust me,
for the location.
You would look at the location, and obviously you have looked at maybe 1 or 2 properties, so you have an idea. It's between this and this. So when they call something much lower, you're like, at first you're obviously overwhelmed, like Jesus has done it. You know, the Lord is on the, like, I'm going to say how I paid this amount, and it's going to be ridiculous to everyone. So we were having talks, and then one morning, Saturday morning, it just touched me and my sister, and we said, we had a meeting, I think we were supposed to meet, go to the property on Monday. And I'm like, today is Saturday. I'm going out, you're going out. Let's go check out this place. Then we can go to the various places we're going to. So we just got there and we just got to the front. And then we saw that, you know, my sister had been there the day before with the agent. So we were supposed to visit the place like the following week. But that day we just decided to go and we just got there. The same guy was at the gate, the same guard was at the gate, and the guy was acting all weird, like, hey, this place is not for him. Which place is not for him? Something that we're about to...
you the day before?
Not me, my sister.
Or your sister,
something that we're about to pay for. So obviously you're already feeling, okay, something weird is going on. So we called the number and we were talking to, they said that the landlord was an ex-general. You know, so they tell you all these things so that you're comfortable.
Yes, that is...
So he was an ex-general, so we had spoken to him. And then, you know, when we couldn't get access, we called the agent. Agent wasn't picking. So we called the guy directly and we were like, we're at the gates. He said, which gate? Tell the security man. But that's the guy. And, you know, eventually, guess what happened? We got into the apartment, you know, the commotion at the gate trying to get in. Some people came out. There was an elderly guy and a couple of other people. I think they were, I don't know if they were looking at the property or something. And he asked what was going on. Do you know, long story short, we found out that he was the owner of the property, has been abroad for a while and just got back. So he found out that they wanted to rent. So he was like, no. The entire property had been given to an agency. Not an agent, an agency
to handle.
And that he wants someone to take over, you know, like a big company to take over the whole thing. So we were about to make payment that weekend. Like as soon as we see, because my sister said, if you see this place with the price, we're done. We were about to pay for it. So that's why I said it has never gotten to that situation, but somehow we've been very lucky because if we had paid,
that would have been, you would have been
so those are the kind of things. And eventually it gives a bad reputation to the landlord because everyone points and says, if anyone has been defrauded in that property, everyone points and nobody even knows that the landlord is not even in town. So there's a lot going on and we just need to be careful.
I mean, that's a really good red flag for people too. Because some people just think, oh, the Lord has done it. Let me just pay. Like AJ said, Go the day the agent is not expecting you to go, so that you find out what's happening. Because really, and if it's so affordable, just like I think we're talking about the time we're talking about this T.J. Omori's case, and we're saying for fake products, if it's very affordable, it's cheaper than normal.
So things shouldn't be affordable again.
No, when you know this thing is 200 naira, they're selling for 50 naira. What happened when they are not doing Black Friday? Even Black Friday, they will not give that price.
They will only sell Black Friday if it's expiring in 2 months.
Exactly, so that I can quickly rush it and then they would clear their shelf. All right, so technology is evolving fast, right? And I know Mary said she used the what
was a
platform
WhatsApp
was it?
group.
It was a WhatsApp group.
Yeah,
okay, so I want to. Okay, go ahead.
And then some people also use Telegram as well. So I know I was on one Telegram one. So they come together, add a couple of agents.
Okay.
Why I was a bit more comfortable is because they would always tell you before you conclude with the agent, like reach out to us. So we can also vet that, this is one of our agents, so it also helps, all of that, your money is missing and stuff, and you can't trace the agents to any company and stuff. So I think there's been a little innovation, but it can definitely be way better.
Yeah.
It can be way better.
I think people should look at, so I remember we mentioned it during the break. I was saying maybe if somebody can create a software, an app, that can act as an agent. The Mary said there'll still be agents involved somehow. But maybe it would be at a very okay price, and the regulators will be involved and make sure that the price is there, or the pricing there is good, right? But I mean, that's my own opinion. I don't know, but I think people should.
Technology, like you said, there are platforms.
Yeah.
So but regulating those platforms is also quite important.
Yeah.
Very
and then
important.
I think this new thing of like smart home innovations, where you go to rent a property and then you speak with the person. Once the deal is done, they hand you over maybe a card, and then or they give you a PIN, and that's what you use to get into the place. So that way you can't get in if you're not supposed to. So even an agent won't be able to do all those things. So I don't know. I guess the platform for starts, because we're not very keen on technology. Yeah. So yeah, at least we can start with that. If you regulate it and minimize, maybe it'll help.
Yeah, true, absolutely. I know we've been talking about regulatory bodies, and I said when I did my research, there is actually LASRERA, Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority. So in your own opinion, how do you think these regulatory bodies, how do you think the real estate regulatory bodies can step in to solve the problem of high agent fees? So I think for me personally, I would say they should set and enforce standardized agent fees. It shouldn't go past this amount, maybe a particular percentage, and it should be agreed upon. Everybody should be okay with it. And I feel that every agent should be registered under these platforms or these bodies.
I think
they should have like a number.
So on the registration.
Yeah, so I actually went to this LASRERA, Lagos State Real Estate Regulatory Authority website, and they actually have pins, or what will I call it now? But they have like a code for like this, that you can use to search and say, check if this person is actually a legit registered agent. But it's just that they've not enforced it. That's the problem. They've not enforced it, and I think they should enforce it, right? And also create like a complaints resolution portal or something. Yeah. And they should attend to it, not the one that we send. So the
people who have also been scammed.
Exactly, they can
also like maybe
absolutely share pictures and say this place. So I was scammed, and people would always go there to be sure, okay, this place I'm getting, hope they are legit. It will help a lot.
The PIN, the ID would help.
The ID would help.
So it's like asking like a police guy for his identity card. Yeah, it's like an ID. So you're sure you're even dealing with someone who is authorized and knows what it means to be an agent, because there are a lot of fishy people. I can be an agent tomorrow.
Anybody, you can just wake up tomorrow. It's a side hustle for a lot of people now.
So yeah, I think if you do it for a profession, it would be nice for you to be recognized in that way, with an identity that, okay, I can trust this person to get me a good home.
Yeah, because the real estate industry is actually very thriving. Like, you can never not have real estate in your country.
Madam, the next week,
there is a thriving in, so
house
it needs to be regulated. We cannot just leave it like that and say, okay, we'll do it as you like. And, it's just really sad. And, the way NJ said that they just, or is he married, that they just go round, like this person will take you to this place and that person will still take you to the same place. It's like that one WhatsApp group that I say, okay, this place is available, just come and show the person.
They do have a WhatsApp group.
They do actually have a WhatsApp group.
So maybe they have association of
something like that. Like if a group of friends do, are agents, so they communicate within themselves.
They share if you find
this is
somebody,
what is available.
you take the person here.
So all of them,
they're always calling themselves, even when you're going that,
do you have anything available here?
So that they can
there's
show
money in that industry. Maybe I should
be licensed, girl.
Yeah, I'll get my license and take your monies. All right. So finally, for those dealing with agents, what are some practical strategies these people can use to negotiate and bring down these outrageous fees?
The fees is dependent on the rent.
Yeah.
It's 10% or 5% of the 10% of the rent. So unless you can get the rent to come down,
it's not 10% again. No, see the example we gave now. So 10% of 500K is 50K now. But the agent is charging 250. So where is 250 coming from?
That is an unlicensed. Trust me, he's not getting any paperwork for that.
Exactly, caution fee. Please, what did you ask for a breakdown? Because I think if they ask you for this, if they say agent fee is 1 million, ask them, please, can I see the breakdown?
And
I need to know.
With everything, they still put miscellaneous.
What? No
in
sense.
The bulb, in case something that was in the house gets ruined.
Who told them I'm not going to fix
for,
it?
Service apartments.
My dear, they do it for rent, and they say it's refundable. But come and refund it. By the time you want to refund it, they'll tell you, oh, this table is cracked. This table, when we gave it to you, was smooth. This curtain was this. So by the time, that money actually is hardly do you get it back. That's all I'm saying.
It's just really sad. It's really, really sad, and I just hope that the regulatory bodies actually do something, because I mean, on my street alone, they've demolished so many buildings, like old buildings, to rebuild, and it just feels like the amount people are going to pay. The people that are coming into these houses, you're going to pay a lot of money. And, just make it structured. It will help a lot. Because housing is a basic thing. You don't understand. Like, it's not, you cannot, where will you sleep? In this Lagos, you cannot sleep under the bridge. We don't have facilities that cater to homeless people. So you have to, first, don't let me even talk, but house rent is very expensive. I always jokingly say this thing, that don't judge me, that, where people say, Shay, leave your uncle's house. Can I stay with my uncle? I'm like, the only thing that's taking me away from this house is if I'm going to my husband's house. I'm not living anywhere.
I feel you, sir.
I'm not, because when I hear these things, I'm like, my hard-earned money, I'll now give it to one agent to use to flange and enjoy himself, spend the money for a weekend, and you are there. You are thinking of your life. You have spent a lot of money. It's just really ridiculous. So I'm just calling on the Lagos State government and other states and the whole of Nigeria, that we need regulatory bodies that would actually oversee the real estate industry, or what I call industry, in Nigeria today. So before we go, do ensure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and most importantly, follow all our social media engagements. And remember to like, share, comment, and invite your family and friends to watch and follow us. If you missed our quote for today, here it is again. I do not think that you can address poverty unless you address the lack of affordable housing in the cities. This quote is by Matthew Desmond. So tonight we've shed light on an issue that is affecting the lives of so many people in our city: the rising cost of rent and agent fees. It is a burden that goes beyond numbers. It is about the family struggling to keep a roof over their heads, the dreams put on hold because of housing costs, and the young professionals just trying to get by. As we navigate these challenges, let's remember that housing is a basic need, not a luxury. It's time for us all, landlords, agents, policymakers, and renters, to come together and seek fair solutions. because when housing is fair and affordable, we all win. Thank you for joining us tonight, and let's continue the conversation for the future of our homes and our city. Thank you so much, Mary and NJ. It's always a pleasure having discussions with you. I had a great time. And, you know, and Mary, congratulations on, when are we doing housewarming?
Excellent.
We'll send you the invite, so please make sure you come. What should they bring along? Table, chair, mattress,
AC,
TV, microwave, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much, ladies. It's always a great time with you. Thank you so much for watching. Till we come your way tomorrow. See you. Bye-bye.